If you spend a lot of your time worrying, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Worry is a form of negativity, and it has a negative impact on us. It may have an impact on our health, our mental health, and a number of other possible consequences of spending your time worrying. Now, to worry, of course, we know is to experience concern or anxiety over something that we anticipate is going to happen. And usually we have a fear of the unknown, which is what causes the worry in the first place. And so I have found a way to overcome my worry successfully. Usually, when I'm concerned about something, there are two questions that I ask and answer. The first question is, what is the worst that could happen? And the second question is, if the worst were to happen, how would I react? What is my plan? And what are my options? And the answer may not be what I want to hear, and it may not be perfect, but at least I've given it some thought and I have a plan of action in the event that the worst does happen. And that takes care of the uncertainty and the fear that's associated with the uncertainty. The key as you're moving toward your goals is to avoid being distracted by negativity and limiting thoughts, which is what worry consists of. When I was in first grade in elementary school, we were out on the playground at recess, and outside of the fence of the school, the children started to gather, as well as whoever the teacher on duty was. And so I ran over there as well to see what the commotion was about. And one of the children said to me, "There's a coyote." Well, I had never seen a coyote, and so I didn't know what it looked like. And so I peered through the fence, and all I saw was a dog. And so I imagined that my friends were seeing something that I couldn't see. And apparently, it was pretty scary because some of them looked scared. And so after recess, we went back to the classroom, and then later, during lunchtime, I used to walk home for lunch. And my mother would always have a delightful soup ready for me. Well, that day, I was worried and concerned, highly concerned, because the coyote was still out there, even though I didn't know what a coyote was. And I was afraid that it would get me. But in any event, I managed to walk home, scared as I was, made it home, and my aunt and uncle were visiting my mother. And my uncle asked me how my day had been so far, and I said with big round eyes, "I saw a coyote. There was a coyote outside of our school." And he said, "Really? What did it look like?" And so I drew a picture. And this is what the coyote looked like. Now, clearly, this is not a coyote. A coyote looks like a dog somewhat. And so when I looked out and saw what looked like a dog, I thought it was a dog and assumed my friends were seeing something else that for whatever reason I could not see. And so in my mind, I created this big, scary, dragon-like creature, which was the coyote that my friends were afraid of. And so when I showed the picture to my uncle, he was sort of chuckled and he said, "Really? Is that what it looked like?" And so basically, I was worried about being attacked by an imaginary animal that I had created in my head. So even though I was a young child, it demonstrates that even as children, we can exaggerate and create monsters, if you will, and things to be scared of in our head. So, to quote the song, don't worry, be happy.